Here in example 3, we have another set of parallel lines, once again noted by our arrows here. I'm going to go ahead and find the transversal and make it red. Right there, it's cutting through. Just because the parallel lines are angled differently this time, that does not matter. I need to solve for x, so I'm going to go ahead and look at what angles I'm given that I need to find. 92 degrees plus 2x degrees and 5x plus 4 degrees. I'm looking at that and I'm going to try to figure out, are they inside the parallel lines, interior, or outside the parallel lines, exterior? I highlight it so that you can see it a little bit better here. Inside the parallel lines is within here. So clearly those angles are interior angles. When I look at my transversal, the red line, both of these angles are below. So they are on the same side inside the parallel lines. Looking at my angle relationships notes, those would be called consecutive interior angles. Interior because they're inside, consecutive because they are right next to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. These are consecutive interior angles. Looking at your notes, consecutive interior angles are supplementary, meaning they equal 180 degrees. So I'm going to take these two angles, add them together. Their sum should equal 180 degrees. 92 plus 2x plus 5x plus 4 equals 180. I don't need parentheses around this because I'm adding, and when I add, multiplying by that invisible 1 doesn't change anything. Combine my like terms. Same old algebra stuff. 92 plus 4 is 96. Subtract 96 from both sides, and I get 84. I hope. 84 divided by 7. Got to check that out. 7 goes into 8 one time. 7 goes into 14 twice. So x equals 12. Just because I found x does not mean I've calculated how many degrees that is yet. So now I need to substitute my value for x back in to calculate it. So I have 92 plus 2 times my x value of 12. 2 times 12 is 24. 92 plus 24 is 116. So this should be 116 degrees, but I'm going to check it in the other one and make sure that they both add up to equal 180. So 5 times my x value of 12 plus 4. 5 times 12 is 60. 60 plus 4 is 64 degrees. And if I add 116 plus 64, I do in fact get 180 degrees. So I know that that is correct. Now, let's try to do something a little bit different this time as we find the remaining angles. We're going to try to use corresponding angles. So I'm looking for angles that are in the same spot next to both parallel lines. So I'm going to highlight them. This 64 degrees is in the bottom of this area right here. If I look at the other area, which one is at the bottom? That would be C. So I know that C has to be congruent to that other angle, 64 degrees. So angle C is 64 degrees. Let's do another one. What is corresponding with this 116 degrees? If I'm looking at this intersecting area here, this is on the right side. If I look at this intersecting area over here, the corresponding area would be F, because it's to the right side. So F also has to be 116 degrees. Once I have that, everything else is super simple to find based off of my vertical angles. So Opposite of angle C is angle B. So angle B has to be 64 degrees. Opposite of this 64 degrees is angle E. So E also has to be 64 degrees. Always, always, always label your diagram so that you have all your information there. B and E are 64 degrees. Other pair here of vertical angles. Opposite of this 116 is angle A. So angle A must also be 116 degrees because vertical angles are congruent. Opposite of F is angle D. Those are also vertical angles, so angle D is 116 degrees. And there we go. We found all the angles once again, using corresponding angles, consecutive interior angles, and vertical angles.